Hello guys, hello, hi, hi again. We seem to be experiencing some technical difficulties, but we don't give up. We keep trying. We test and try on every side, but we are trying. We're gonna make this work. One more time. Let's just try to get, here she is. Let's just try to get her back. So if you've just joined us, you aren't too late. You can watch part 1 of this. It is within her episode 4. There's part 1 already has been recorded. And then right now we're about to have part 2, as we seem to be experiencing technical difficulties. But we are not discouraged. As Phela Mandla, we can do this. Yes. Network, please respect us. Network. Yeah, let's do this. Are we back? Okay, we're back.
Okay, now I can actually see you clearly. I was like, okay, the live should have just started now.
Clearly, but you know what? We are grateful. We don't just take it for granted. We're just like, technical difficulties or not, we will make it work. Sandasam.
Definitely.
We were at the part where we're speaking about how the pageant is contributing positively to Township South Africa. I started by saying that, you know, when somebody hears the name Miss Township South Africa, the first question that comes to mind is, how is this pageant contributing to townships around South Africa? So how is it contributing positively to Township South Africa?
Okay, let's start with the word townships. Normally that word would raise a lot of hands on, you know, most people, and they'll be like, okay, who wants to be queen of a township pageant? You know?
Exactly.
So, you know, with this pageant, yeah, one of the things that drew me to it and what actually had me intrigued throughout the whole journey was the word townships.
Mm-hmm.
You know, township made a lot of us who we are, and we've come, like, we're raised by the townships. There's a lot of talent that is overlooked. There's a lot of, you know, skills and, you know, abilities, but then it's lack of opportunities that the township youth doesn't have. And it's something that is still prevalent now, even years later, that townships are overlooked. They'll be like, oh, township, okay, that's gangsterism. Townships, what do they know? It's just like most of them drop out. You have to live in, I don't know, the Babs or a much better place for you to be recognized. So how this pageant has contributed, and what I've seen, me being an example as I'm someone that lives in the townships, is that it gives you an opportunity. It's like the pageant space, it's a huge stage, and people actually listen to you. Like before I got the sash, before I got the crown, when I was just speaking, you know, campaigning, knocking on doors, they just look at you like, what does this one want now?
Yeah.
What is she saying? But the sash, and, you know, it gives you that power, that ability to draw people to you. People are automatically interested, like, okay, she's wearing a sash for Miss Township or for a so-and-so pageant. And with the skills that Miss Township offers, as that it offered me an opportunity as a township youth myself to have that confidence to go knock on those brands, to go talk with those, you know, business people, to start something of my own, you know, to just say, I can do it. And, you know, with some other things, if not you, then who? That's what, for me, it contributes. That self-confidence, that awareness, that clarity, that opportunity to go and do the most out there.
Okay. So are there any outreach programs which you have implemented in your own township specifically?
Yes. One of the programs that I started with was Little Girl Arise SA by Kuketo Makwa, which is also our, you know, beneficiary sponsors for Miss Township SA, which we were tasked with, you know, raising sanitary towels. We go to schools and have chats with, you know, the girl child. And one of the things that I've been doing with my talks is that one thing I've realized, especially within the Black community or townships in general, we don't really have that parental talks with, maybe with our mothers. Some, especially menstruation, it's one of the topics that are a bit taboo in most communities. And so we have been trying to change that and to educate them more about, menstrual hygiene, the importance of periods, and for them to basically know that when your body goes through these changes, this is to be expected. It's not only like physical changes, because that's what schools focus on, but it's also a mental and an emotional change as well, which we tend to overlook. And parents, I don't know if it's like mentality of old or what, but we don't talk about those stuff. We're like, okay, you're going on your periods, okay, fine. Here's sanitary towels, and then that's it. But it comes with some sort of trauma that most people don't actually notice. So that's one of the things that we have been dealing with. And we are encouraged and tasked as well to start our own programs. Like right now, I'm busy collecting, clothes, books, toiletries as well, to include the boy child, because most of the time, what the mistake that we do is that we focus on girl empowerment and girl uplifting, initiatives, but we sort of leave the boy child up. Like, what about them? That's some of the things that I've been doing with toiletries and books as well. So currently I'm working on the It Starts With Me drive, which is quite recent. So it was born out of having the need for a literate community. We don't have libraries over here. Reading is not something that is mainly encouraged. And so I was like, okay, if you have secondhand books, be it textbooks, be it school reading books just for fun, donate them. I mean, you want to have a literate country, so why not start with your communities? Go spend time volunteering at, different orphanages. And yeah, so we're doing quite a lot. I can talk all night about these programs.
We love it. We love it. We can't complain, because wow, the work that you guys are doing is really, really exceptional, especially when it comes to, young women and female hygiene, because it's really, really an issue that's quite prominent in our country. So we appreciate the work that you do, and I pray that God just aligns the right people to help you guys with this project, because if we can have many more of these, then surely the girl child will not feel shy to voice their concerns about, being on their periods, or feel shy to even go to school when they're on their periods, because the reality is that some kids don't even get to go to school when they're on their periods, because haven't paid, you understand? So it's a thing that is quite, discouraging for the girl child, and it inevitably affects the academics of a girl child. So, may everything concerning this project continue. And honestly speaking, I really pray that God will get much, much more. Also with literacy as well, we can't say we know enough. We always have to read and to, expose ourselves to quite a lot. And it doesn't only expand our vocabulary, but in all honesty, you get to also know quite a lot when you read. So, wow. Like I say, I'm left in awe, and I pray that, honestly, God just blesses the work that you guys do, and going forward, it's really, really wonderful to hear that. So I wanted to get into, okay, the month of June, right, is recognized as Pride Month in Africa, right? So I wanted to ask you about the LGBTI plus community, right? How do you feel about the LGBTI plus community entering pageants? Let's say, for example, you find a transgender woman entering a female pageant. How do you feel about that? What are your views on that?
Why not? Why should they be limited? One thing that I fail to understand sometimes, as much as we say we are open-minded, are we really? I ask myself that a lot, because we say we are open-minded and are of conscious thoughts, but at the same time, we don't act like it. So with me, I see no problem with it. I mean, I believe it's also in our constitution as well, the freedom of expression, of, just to be yourself, free will in general. So why should we limit other humans to partake in, activities that they like, in job opportunities as well? So this is a broad topic that most time when you bring up, people get defensive, all people say what they think you might want to hear.
Yeah.
And all in all, I think that our pageants, as much as they're developing, we still have like a long way to go. And it should be an open, platform, an open space where that will remain open, so that be it transgender, be it, part of the LGBTQI community, and plus, if you want to enter, go for it. Just like if you want to apply for a certain job, why should you not?
Exactly.
So that's my stance on it. I really see no problem in it.
All right, no. We hear you, and it's quite true, because we tend to set limitations and, discriminate and stuff like that, which is something which we shouldn't be doing, because at the core of who you are, you're first a human being before you are male, female, lesbian, transgender, whatever the case may be. So if we could just have this view of looking at an individual as a human being first, then gender, will come afterwards. It's really something and a conversation which we need to continue, in our circles as well, that we shouldn't have these stereotypes around members of the LGBTI plus community.
That is very true. I mean, as much as we want to be, aware, conscious, and open-minded, we should also be thoughtful and forward thinking about, because at the end of the day, we all human, and it's like okay, I don't want to give examples, but it's saying that you cannot do certain jobs because you're female, or you cannot do certain jobs because it's a woman's job. And then if someone identifies differently, then why should you judge them? No one has a right to that. We shouldn't take choice away. I think that's the main way. Yeah, choice.
And that is so true. It's honestly one's personal choice, and one which we should always, respect and honor, so to say, So lastly, I wanted to ask you that, let's say there's somebody out there, I'll use myself an example. I'm from a township somewhere in South Africa, and I just feel like I'm so limited by Moki Dulang, and I feel as though I can't do certain things. I feel as though opportunities are for those that stay there up there in Sandton and in the likes of, all these burbs that we know of. What would you like to say to a young woman, a young person that feels limited by their background?
I used to be like that, actually, maybe a year ago. And, now I realize
we are grateful you got out of there.
And Miss Township actually offered us with life coaching lessons, which actually helped broaden my mind and thinking. So I'll share what I've learned and the changes that I've seen that could be maybe helpful. As that the first limits we set are mental. For example, you think that, okay, fine, I'm from a township, opportunities are not there. What do I do? They judge me for my background, or we don't have enough resources and everything like that. What do I do? Then you get stuck in that what do I do box. I'm unfortunate box. There are no opportunities box. And once you get rid of those barriers, once you open yourself and your mind to say, okay, fine, I have to go fight for this. I want a job. I have to go, job searching. I want to go to school. I have to keep on applying to those bursaries. I have to seek help with, subjects that I'm struggling with. I have to go to my educators and do that. And once you get rid of those mental barriers, then you open yourself up to, external opportunities. So you have to create that opportunity within yourself. And once you set your mind to it, make sure you give everything your level best, because you don't want to look back 5 years from now and be like, I could have. Because tell me something, we're both from the townships, right? We went to the same local school, and you managed to get out of the townships and go live your dream and your dream job and do everything. What's stopping me from doing that?
Exactly.
What are you doing that I'm not doing? So there are people who are successful that were raised in the townships, who had, poverty stricken backgrounds,
Mm,
who struggled a lot financially, and who didn't have the same opportunities as those who are more privileged per se. And if two people, you went to the same school with them, you have the same background financially and everything, and then they're able to make it out, and then you still stuck and be like, I'm in the township, there are no opportunities, then that for me doesn't make any sense. You have to fight, for what you want. And that starts with mental thinking.
yeah, I think what I got from what you were saying is that it's all the mind.
Can I say
Okay.
continue to not be misunderstood, right? But I do understand, like in some instances, because we actually have to look at it as well, that it goes to say with the circumstance and the environment that you find yourself in and the people that you're surrounded by.
Yeah.
So first things first, look at your environment. Okay, fine, you know that, okay, this is what the situation is like at home. This is what they like. And then you go to your friends and those you surround yourself with, and you be like, okay, these are my friends, and then this is their mental thinking. This is how they see themselves in future, and this is what they're doing. And then go back and be like, I've assessed the situation at home, at my community. I've assessed the group that I align myself with. Does it work for me and what I want in future? Which is why they say you become your friends in some ways. So that is something to actually look at,
Wow, you said a mouthful. And like you said, what I got from what you were saying is basically that it's in our minds. Sometimes the only limitation is literally in our minds, and that we just think that we cannot achieve certain things, whereas we have everything within us to achieve whatever we set our minds to. And like you said, the company we keep is so, so important. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for this live. Thank you so much for, being with us in the midst of the technical difficulties that we experienced. Thank you for your patience. Thank you so much for your energy. Thank you so much for sharing about Miss Township South Africa. I'm sure if there are people that are watching that want to enter Miss Township South Africa for next year, then look, they'll definitely be entering after you've shared what you shared. They know more about what Miss Township South Africa is. We are excited for the final show, and we are hoping to be part of it and join you guys at the audience at the Miss Township South Africa finals. And we wish the finalists all the best. I mean, like you said in the beginning, they made it this far, so we truly, truly wish them all the best with the final crowning night and everything else. So yeah, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for sharing your heart, and everything that you do with us. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. If you don't get to see you before the crowning or during the crowning, then look, I wish you all the best with your career. And look, girl, go conquer and slay these goals of yours. The world is your oyster.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me and, spreading awareness through pageantry. I really pray and hope for a day where they are actually recognized, because, with pageantry, we do a lot of community work. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that is so overlooked. People just look at the bikinis, the dresses, and the makeup, but they don't see the core hard work that goes behind the scenes. So thank you for, spreading awareness on that.
Thank you so much. And that is what we're about at Her Majesty. We're all about pageantry and getting to advertise and market pageants and basically show that there is so much that pageants does, more than just, the beauty that people always see and, walking with our bikinis and all those things. So we're really, really all about that. And thank you so, so much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye. And that is a wrap, guys. It is within her. As you saw, it is within her as Naledi. And you know what? We had an absolutely, absolutely amazing time. You can join us again next week on Thursday with another queen. As we say, it is within her, and find out more about what it is about the pageant that is interesting, what we should look out for about the pageant, and you know, let's just grow. Let's just grow this pageant industry. Let's just see everything that is great, that is wonderful, and that is royal about the pageant industry. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. And we apologize for the technical difficulties. Like I said, this is part 2 of It Is Within Her, episode 2. The first part has already been posted, so you can check it out under our IGTV. And thank you so much, guys. Mwah!